So welcome back to Creative First Tuesdays. I've got a great holiday edition this week for you. So many different projects with some different faces we like to shake things up a little bit so you don't get bored. Today I will be showing you how to do a tape resist cardboard tree painting. So for this, you will need some cardboard, just some old boxes. You'll need some painter's tape. You'll need some different colors of paint. You will need some little pom-pom balls or any other thing that you want to decorate your tree with. And then something to make a star for the top of it, if you want a star on top of your tree. Again, none of our projects have a right or wrong way to do them. They are all however you create them. Oh, and please take a picture of your holiday edition projects and post them on social media and tag us, the Lancaster County Council of the Arts, in it, so that we can see what everybody else has created.
Yeah.
So you will start with cutting just a plain triangle shape out of cardboard. Very simple, sleek, easy to do. You are going to take some pieces of the painter's tape and just lay them out in different angles and directions. So you kind of want to block off certain areas and pieces of your tree. So I got one piece going across there. And you can actually even cut the tape in half. So that way you can have a variety of some fat lines and some thin lines. Yes, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Those, just to kind of give it a different look.
So now we're making a bunch of cool geometric shapes on our tree, right?
Yes. So
right now we've got two triangles and what's that one called, Liz? Is that a rhombus? I don't know what that's called. That's an odd shape.
that is, it's not very good in geometry, so I don't know. All right, trying to get this
Be
cut
careful
down
not to
the
cut your
middle.
little fingers.
Yes, if you did want to cut your tape, you
Right.
might want to have somebody help you.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put this one here.
I wonder too, Liz, like, I know at home I have like the washi tape.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think it would probably work the same as the painter's tape, wouldn't it? You can
It
get it all
would.
different widths too.
Yes, you're right. That would be good. I'll do one up here.
So we're not really crisscrossing our lines
Not
much,
really crisscrossing them,
unless
but
we
just,
decide we want a smaller shape.
yes, yeah. But you can do this anyway. You could
Mhm.
have them all coming out of the middle.
Mm.
Oh
yeah, you can almost do like
stripes,
a
starburst.
yeah, like a
kind of thing.
starburst, like some rays coming up from the bottom or something.
So any way that you decide to do this, you can do it. So we have got some just different sections here. So we are going to paint the sections that are not covered up with tape. And then when we peel our tape off, we'll have these nice crisp white lines dividing all the colors up. So you can get some colors, whatever colors you want. You can choose a certain color scheme or just random colors, whatever you like. So I'm just gonna squirt some paint out here, and I laid the rest of the cardboard out to kind of protect the work surface area. So if you have some old newspapers or something, you'll probably want to lay down
Or
and
even
protect
a
your-
trash bag or anything
Yes,
like that.
yeah. That would definitely work.
And I guess if you wanted more of a natural looking tree, you could use your green paint and then just do different shades of it with black and white paint mixed in.
Oh, yes.
Or you can do a bright colorful tree with all different colors.
And then this dark.
Oh yeah, the dark green. Mm-hmm. This floor is squeaky, Liz. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
It is squeaky.
And today we're actually filming from the Historic Springs House, our Christmas edition, Creative Tuesday. So come visit us at the Springs House sometime, right? And
Yes,
you can see we
yes.
have some art on the wall behind us. We always have art on the walls here in the gallery, so you can come anytime.
It is, there's always
visit.
something really neat to
Yeah.
see. And just to say hello.
That's right.
So you can use a sponge paintbrush, or you can just use regular paintbrushes. I'm going to use a spongy one just
Yeah.
because I feel like it covers more area quicker.
Right.
So.
And I love the sponge brushes too, because you can usually buy them pretty cheap, and then
Yes.
you don't have to worry about taking time to clean out your brushes. You can just toss them.
That's exactly right. And you can do just like one layer and have your colors be kind of thin and transparent,
Mhm.
or you could paint many layers and then, you know,
Right.
you have like this really thick color.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice green.
Yes, green is a definite favorite color of mine.
Mine too. That's my favorite color. I have on a green shirt today, so
I think
I
when
try to wear my
somebody's,
Christmassy shirt today.
yes, when somebody's favorite color is green, you know it. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know when someone's favorite color is green.
Mm-hmm.
We're a special kind. Oops, I got a little bit in another section, but that's all right.
Yeah. We're just having fun doing it.
Nothing to stress out about
Right.
or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just using the same paintbrush for all of my areas. And
Mhm.
even if it does kind of blend colors, I will definitely, that will be just fine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I'll do a little bit of blue. And it kind of makes it a little green in there too, especially
Oh,
when
I
I
love
mix
that.
some yellow.
Yeah.
It'll
That's
look
pretty.
really nice. So there's some blue. And then I'll do yellow here and then that dark green.
Mm-hmm. And I like how they're still with the green on your brush. It makes a blended color. It's really cool.
Alright.
Oh, I love that.
Then the dark green. And you can just have fun, experiment in painting. And if you like this, then you could do all kind of shapes. All kind
Mm-hmm.
You could do a really big one.
You could.
You could do really small ones.
You could even cut out circles and do the same kind of thing to make ornaments if you wanted to, or any kind of shape. You see some of our other projects today that are like smaller, that we
Yes.
talked about would be good on top of gifts. You could even do this in like a little miniature size, couldn't you?
Oh yes, definitely. You could do a really tiny one.
Or we even saw where you could do this life size too. Like if your
yeah.
kids wanted to make a life size one of these and use the whole big cardboard box.
Put it on the wall.
You
That
could put
be
it on
a
their wall in
Christmas
their
tree.
room.
Mhm.
That could be their own little Christmas tree. I love that.
Now, you might want to wait if you're doing this at home and to make sure it's dry. Your paint is dry really
Right.
well before you peel your tape off.
Right.
But I'm just going to go ahead and peel this off.
I
Just
love
so
those
that we
colors.
can- I know, I think it turned out really good, like with the greens, yellows,
Mhm.
blues.
And our lines are coming out pretty crisp even with the wet paint.
Yes. And with the painter's tape, it does not like peel
Right.
or tear.
Yeah, so
your
we gotta make
cardboard.
sure and use that, right? Or like the
Yes.
washi tape. Cause masking
Yeah,
tape.
the washi tape would be
Yeah,
good.
cause
too.
masking tape would tear our cardboard. That is
So
so cool.
we have all these different colored sections with these nice crisp white lines. And you can take and glue some pom-pom balls or buttons or
Mhm.
anything on the white areas. Like I said, even a star on the top. You
Mhm.
could add and glue on. But just any festive way you want to decorate your
Right.
tape resist tree would be
Exactly.
absolutely great. What are you gonna do for us today?
Well, today we're going to make yarn stick Christmas trees. And what you do is you start out with sticks. Of course, I have mine already pre-snapped. And you're gonna put them into a little triangle like a Christmas tree. If you can see, you can set it up. And you're going to need, obviously you're going to need sticks and you're gonna need yarn. You can pick any hue of green that you like. You can use buttons for the ornaments or you can use pom-poms. And you're going to need hot glue to tie it all together. Okay, so we're going to start by assembling a little triangle on the table. Get it how you want it. And you have a little tiny one for your trunk, because every tree needs a trunk. And you have your hot glue. And we're going to put it together, just a little dab, because hot glue can get very messy very quickly. And if you're doing this with your parents, they should definitely be the ones using the hot glue. But my parents aren't here right now, so I'll do it by myself. And then we're going to put the bottom on. And then we'll leave that to dry for a second. But since we're using hot glue, this shouldn't take long. There you go. You have your start to your Christmas tree.
Very cute.
Your little triangle Christmas tree. And now we'll put on the trunk just a little dab of hot glue. And this is, you're gonna wanna hold it. And then once it dries, you'll have your base to your Christmas tree. But in the meantime, while that dries, you can pick through your yarn. Personally, I love green, it's my favorite color, but I'm going to go.
Yes.
It's also my favorite color.
We're gonna go with this color because it's my favorite one of our selection. And it should be dry now. You have your little Christmas tree, and you'll take one side of your yarn and you're gonna tie it to one side of your Christmas tree. So you take a little knot, and it doesn't matter how much you pull out because you can always take your scissors and cut the edge.
Let's unroll the yarn for you to make it easier.
Yes. You do a little knot, and then we'll just take my scissors and cut off the excess. And this is normally where you cut both sides, so you don't have to handle this part. And then you just start wrapping it around, because this is going to make up your leaves and the stems on the trees. And you just wrap it around. You can go around like this, make little triangles. Do it really however you wish, but it's just to make your tree full. So you really have that green, so you have stuff to stick your ornaments to later. You just keep going around. You can do it however you like, but once you get to a part where you think it is good, which I think I'm getting to about right now, I think that's good. Then you take the rest and you tie a knot to the end like you started. You wrap it up around and you can tie it off.
If it's too tiny, you probably could hot glue it in place too.
Yes, that was actually a really good idea because I think I cut it a little short.
Sometimes it's hard to tie short.
Yes. And you hot glue it and take off the excess. So now we have our Christmas tree, but it's bare. It has no ornaments. It's not a Christmas tree, it's just an evergreen right now. So you can use pom-poms for this, but personally I'm going to use buttons because I think they're really cute. So this is when you can pick out any of the buttons or pom-poms or any other things that you want to hang on your trees, and you just start hot gluing them on. Doesn't really have a rhyme or reason to it, just like decorating any Christmas tree. It's just whatever looks good. You can pick out Christmas colors. Of course, the pom-poms we have are red and green and white, like Christmas colors, but I like miscellaneous colors. I don't really have a theme for my Christmas tree. be careful with hot glue because it is hot. The name is not misleading whatsoever. And then once you get as many ornaments on your tree as you like, which I think I do, that's what it looks like so far.
I love it.
Very cute.
Then we have one thing to add. We have our star. And we cut our star out with this little glitter paper. You don't have to have a star. You could put a button on the top, just like this. You use a yellow button. I feel like that would work. But personally, I want a star, so I'm gonna add a star. And all you do is hot glue it on like you did the rest of the buttons. And then make sure that one's on there. And here we have our yarn stick Christmas tree.
Yes, nice. And even if there were little kids that could not use hot glue, you could use some white regular school glue. It would probably just take some extra time to dry, but that would probably work and be safe for little fingers. So Liz, what will you be showing us how to make today?
We're making DIY Christmas trees out of pine cones, which you can find in your yard if you have a pine tree nearby, or you can just go to the store and get some pine cones. Totally doesn't matter, as long as you have a pine cone. So what you're gonna need, obviously, is the pine cone. You need some green paint, and then you can take anything that you want to put on your Christmas tree as ornaments. I have little mini pom-poms. You can use big pom-poms if you want. You can use buttons, pretty much anything that works as an ornament on a pine cone. And we also have some little cotton balls that we're gonna use as snow, which you will see later on. So first, you have to start with your pine cone and you're gonna paint it green and let it dry. I have already painted this so that we can make everything work in the time allotted. So that's already dried. We have our green pine cone. And I've sort of maneuvered a base out of some sticks, just so that it'll maybe sit a little bit better. But, so we have that, and we're gonna take our cotton balls, which anyone has these around the house probably, but I'm gonna take them and I'm just gonna sort of spread them apart so that it doesn't look as much like a ball. So it looks kind of like snow. So we'll just glue that sort of right around our base. If you can see, if we can get our glue gun to work. This is a perfect way to do some little quick DIY snow if you're ever in a pinch. Just use a cotton ball from your mom's cabinet or something. I don't know, I'm sure she has some. So there we go. And then I'll probably just sit, like that.
Nice. It does look like a nice snowy
A
ground.
little snowy ground, yeah. If we can just get the hot glue to get off of my finger, that would be great. So we have our base, we have our tree, and then the next thing to do is to decorate the tree. So we're gonna take our little pom-poms, and you just do, that's gonna fall down right now, you just do a tiny, tiny little dab of glue. And again, you don't have to use hot glue. I know it's dangerous for a lot of people, even myself sometimes. So you can totally just use basic light glue that you get at the store, that's fine. But you just glue it on top, kind of like that, just all around your pine cone until it's completely decorated. I personally am going to use a lot of different colors just because I like a very colorful Christmas tree. I'm not going to keep it completely Christmas themed, even though I am only using green and red pom-poms right now, but that's totally fine. Again, you don't even have to use pom-poms. You can use buttons, you can use candy if you want, you can do anything that is gonna fit on the pine cone. Yeah. And eventually, probably not gonna get to it right now, it will eventually be filled completely with your little ornaments, and it's gonna fall over on me, of course. But once you get to a point where you think your Christmas tree is finished, again, mine is not, we're gonna get there eventually, but we do have a cute little gold star that we've cut out of just a basic glitter little paper, And again, take some glue, put a little bit on the back, and then you just glue it right there to the top. And so you have a super, super cute, might be a little
Nice.
wobbly Christmas tree out of a pine cone.
Yes, that turned out so good.
Yes, as you can see, we finally finished putting all of our ornaments on. Like I said, they're all different colors. Again, you can do color scheme if you want. You can keep it Christmas themed. It's whatever you want to do.
Nice. So Eric, what will you be showing us how to make today?
Well, I'm going to use some old cardboard and some yarn and make some Christmas ornaments.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really simple. We just need a piece of old cardboard. I just had a box. My box was already white, so it's nice and clean. If you have a brown cardboard box, you can just cover it with a piece of white paper to start with. Really simple. And then I have a gold pipe cleaner and I already cut it in half. Only need half of it. And we're going to bend that over, and this is going to be our hanger for our ornament. So I'm just going to use some hot glue, and you can use Scotch tape or white glue. The white glue will just take a little bit longer to dry, but that's totally fine. But I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on my circle and glue the ends of my pipe cleaner down. And be careful not to burn yourself. It is hot. It only takes it a second to dry, which is the good part about using it. Or if you use Scotch tape, that's fine too. It'll dry. It'll be dry right away, won't it? And then, okay, so then we're going to take our yarn, and I've got this really colorful yarn today instead of just one color, but you can totally use one color if you want to. And my little thing isn't sticking there. There we go. Now it's stuck. And then we're going to cover that up later. You'll see that, so you won't see that at the top. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to put another little dab of glue to start my yarn on the edge of my cardboard. And I'm going to do that up here at the top too, because later we're going to cover that up. So I'm just going to let my yarn lay in that for a second and dry real good. And then we can start wrapping our ornament. And you can just do this pretty much however you want to. You can wrap it as much or as little as you want. I'm sort of trying to go at angles across it so I don't get a lot of straight lines on mine, but you can just do it however you want to. I love this yarn, how it changes colors as you go too. It's so pretty.
That is, instead of just using a
Right.
bunch of different pieces that you have to
Right.
keep gluing.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see you can just keep going as much as you want. Wrap it in all different directions, so it's all crisscrossed on there is what makes it look really cool, I think. And really, it's just all about creating, right? Right, Liz?
Oh yes, there's no right or wrong.
No right or wrong.
Right or
It's
wrong.
just fun to do.
Don't get stressed out.
Right. So fun. And the other thing too is for little hands too, I'll show you a little trick in just a second. So I think I've got this one wrapped, don't you think?
Yeah, that one.
I
looks
think
really
this one's
good.
wrapped really good, so I'm gonna sort of end it up here, and I'm trying to get my yarn back to the top where I glued my other piece, so I can glue it in at the same place. I'm going to snip it off a little bit here, because I'm done with that. And I'm just gonna put one more little dab of glue here to hold my end down where I've finished. Let that get there and dry for just a second. That's good. And then what I've done is you can use construction paper or glitter paper if you have some, like cardstock or fun foam. This is actually some fun foam I had that was already glittered. And so what I'm going to do to cover up our ends where we started our hanger and our yarn is I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this, and I've already cut it so it's like looks like the top of a little ornament. So it's got the little scallops on the bottom. There we go. And I'm just going to put that right over where we started and let it hang over the top of our circle a little bit. And see, that covers
That is
covers
so
where
cute.
we started our hanger. And then I have a second one, so I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom of it, on the bottom edge with our little scallops, And then I'm gonna put some glue on the back of our other one from our other side with it turned upside down. And then you can just sort of glue them together and it just holds it all together, just like a real ornament has a little gold top on it a lot of
I
times.
like that.
Isn't that cute? And what you can do, you probably know this, Liz, but sometimes for little hands, it might be hard to wrap that yarn like that. So if you need to, you can take your circle and cut little snips around the circle with your scissors, right?
Yes, that
So,
would be good.
so that way they have a place that the yarn will catch while they're wrapping and help hold it. So just to show you how that works, I just put a few little snips in there. So like if I could stick my yarn in that little slot and then wrap it around to another little slot. That just
Oh, yeah, that
helps
does.
hold it real secure for tiny little hands that might not get hold of
Yes,
like
that
that.
does work good.
Yeah, so there's our little ornament. You use any color you want to. You can hang it on your tree.
I love
Isn't
it.
that cute?
Oh, that would be really cute on a gift. If you had,
Yes.
like a gift tag.
Right, that would be perfect. You could write
Yes.
somebody's name on it, put a little sticker on the back, and put it on the top of the package with some ribbon.
Yes.
That'd be so cute. So there we go.
Nice.